Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is Wednesday, 5th of or 6th of August 2025. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Conversation where we discuss events which happened yesterday and what shadow will they cast today. Today is RBI interest rate day. So we'll have to see what RBI has got up its sleeve. But the more important thing is yesterday's interview with CNBC International by Trump, where he talked about, imposing tariffs on India within 24 hours. So by the end of the day, today, or let's say end of day in the US today, we should know what the additional tariffs are. So, he's every few days, he's coming with more and more tariffs, and specifically is targeting India for no reason whatsoever. I will explain why I say that. So it was like, this is a joke where, Mr. Modi thought he was doing Tariff, which is basically in Urdu. Tariff means praising, whereas Trump says, I'm actually looking at tariff rather than Tarif. Anyway, jokes apart. Now, yesterday he said India is the highest tariffs nation. We'll challenge this also. And then he says he will raise India's tariffs substantially. Now, so let's compare this with the other other countries. This source is from WTO, and this is a article from NDTV Profit. So India tariff, the weighted average tariff is only 4.6%, whereas Europe weighted average is 5. Vietnam is 5.1, Indonesia is 5.7, and Bangladesh is 10.6. This is a weighted average tariff. That is how one should look at, because this is weighted across all commodities. Maybe there are some commodities where India was charging 100% tariff, and there are commodities where India is charging 0%. So based on the volume, you have to take a weighted average tariff. So India is much lower than Europe and our neighbors Bangladesh and Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam and Indonesia. So we have to take Trump's statistics with a truckload of salt. So here in DTV Profit explains why India is not a tariff king. So basically, I said they've taken simple average tariffs are incorrect, whereas weighted average tariff is the right one. So weighted average tariff is 4.6%, simple average is 16%. Trump has put 25% on us, which is much higher than a reciprocal tariff, which he originally said he will do. So we thought we'll get 15%. Instead of that, he has made 25 and threatening higher than that. Please note that weighted average tariff also was 56% in 1990. It has come down to 4.6. So nearly 90% drop in the weighted average tariffs in the last 35 years. And you must remember that significant portion of India's imports enter duty-free under SEZs, EOUs, and FTA schemes. So Americans are charged 0% tariff in those schemes. Then top 6 US exports to India face tariffs under 5% and rarely exceed 10%. So if you take the top 6 exports to India, US exports to India, what India imports from US, we charge below 5 and never exceeds or rarely exceeds 10%. Even in sensitive sectors like farm goods, tariff rates have steadily declined over the past 25 years. And we had some retaliatory tariffs on American agricultural exports like apples, walnuts, and almonds. They were withdrawn in 2023. And India imposes zero to low duties on many key US exports like crude oil, coal, LNG, pharma. This is US exports to India. So clearly, Trump is bluffing. And then average MFN rate imposed by US group, US goes up to 300% in politically sensitive sectors like agriculture, textiles, and dairy. And then if you really look at it in comparison, as I mentioned, India tariff levels are in line with global norms for developing economy, and they are much lower than EU, Japan, or China. So there is no reason for Trump to talk these falsehoods and keep on repeating the falsehoods, thinking that it will be true. Clearly, Trump is bluffing. The statistics prove it. And if he does something more, then it will be counterproductive, in my opinion. So now let's get back to what happened in markets. Markets panicked yesterday because he had said this interview, in the interview, that he will announce it shortly. Now, yesterday night, he said he will announce it tonight. So they there was a lot of selling, or let us say lack of buying. There was a buyer strike. Yesterday, the turnover of 61,000 crores, one of the lowest in many, many months, because the buyers decided we will wait for a better time. So Nifty slipped below 24,700. Basically, Reliance and banking heavyweights brought the index down. But in the last half an hour, last 45 minutes, the indices moved away from the lows. So yesterday's lows will be crucial for a lot of people who trade on technical parameters. But please note, today is RBI policy day. So many things can happen which may distort the technical picture. So Sensex fell 300 points, Nifty Bank slipped 259 points. IndusInd Bank was one of those winners because expectedly Rajiv Anand has been appointed as CEO. So it went up by 6% intraday, but then it came down at the end of the day. So what did the institutions do? FIs were dormant, just 22 crores. DIs bought hugely, 3,800 crores. I suspect DIs will continue to buy on all these declines. And I also feel that they will be the winners in the short to medium term and maybe even long term. US markets were very volatile. Dow Jones closed 0.14% lower. S&P went 0.5% higher. NASDAQ came down 0.73. And the futures are all up because there is some hope on the Russian-Ukraine war front, where Russia is supposed to have said that they will stop. There will be a ceasefire, at least on the air battles between Russia and Ukraine. So that's the first piece of good news. So the US markets are all up. Asian markets are up. So generally things are bright as we go. However, India Gift Nifty is showing negative. We have to see how it goes, because anyway, there is a big event today, which is the RBI policy. Yeah, the European markets were flat. DAX was up, of course. FTSE was slightly flat on the positive side, and CAC was flat on the negative side. Commodities, oil has come down. It's fallen below 68 Brent. It had gone to 72. It has crashed now. As I said, between 65 to 75 is where it will remain. And if it breaks 65, then it will be very good for India, but it will take time, I feel. Gold has been fluctuating in a narrow range. Silver went up to $38, 39.9 is the high, the 14-year high. Again, going back to 38, maybe 39. I expect 44. We hold silver Bs. Copper also did well. So today there are results. The earnings are so Hero MotoCorp, Bajaj Auto, and Trent will come out with their earnings. I believe all these three will report good results, but Trent is very expensive. Bajaj Auto could be the surprise winner. Hero Moto has done well for the last month's sales also. So things should be good for these three companies. Blue Star also should. Blue Star may not come with great results. BHL is a very tricky way of Divi's Lab should come with good results. Yesterday, Lupin came with good results. Incidentally, yesterday, Lupin had a 52-week low. So you never know. Ircon should come with so-so results, not great. Then Minda should come with good, interesting results. PFC, which we hold, also should come with good results. That is Power Finance Corporation. So a number of results today, quite a few of them will be good, in my opinion. So we go anyway with confidence. I think what is Modi's Modi's mind is what Tariff Karu Kya Uski Jisne Tariff Lagaya, which means what should I praise this man who is putting taxes on us. This is the Urdu famous song, Tariff Karu Kya Uski Jisne Tariff Lagaya Hai. That is true. I don't think there's anything to feel good about Trump. I think he will fall on his own weight. It is a question of patience. We have patience. We are buying on all declines. We are positive on the market. We believe this too shall pass. Whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.